The Iowa City area is a full blend of history, stories, characters, experiences, and last but not least, great food. I'm Nate Kaeding. You might remember me from kicking the football for the Iowa Hawkeyes and the San Diego Chargers. I grew up here and moved back to raise my family after my playing career was over. Through this series, I want to share with you the eclectic mix that makes my hometown such a unique place to live and to visit. This is Blend, an Iowa Foodie Experience. The Northside neighborhood is just a couple of blocks from the main Iowa City downtown and University of Iowa campus, but it very much maintains its own sense of place. It also has a distinct history of being home to 3 large breweries within 1 block of each other in the 1800s. This inspired a historical fiction novel to be written about that time in Iowa City's past, which is currently being produced into a motion picture. When you want to explore the Northside, there's no better person to talk to than my buddy Doug Alberhaske, and no better place to start than in one of the oldest bars in Iowa, the Foxhead Lounge.
You talk about history in the Northside, but there's probably not a place more historic than here at the Foxhead, and it's got such a unique history being intertwined with the University of Iowa Writers Workshop, and some really special famous folks sat in these booths at one point in time, haven't they?
This building was built in 1875. This is the oldest continually operated bar in Johnson County. It's 150 years old, and it's been in our family since 1934.
Well, one of the cool things about Iowa City, and specifically the Northside, is how intertwined it is with our literary history. Of course, we're the home of the University of Iowa Writers Workshop. Legend has it that Hunter S. Thompson was kicked out of the Foxhead when he was here. Kurt Vonnegut's house, where he lived, just up the street at North Van Buren. The campus is right here. It butts right up into campus. So.
Exactly, yeah. Paul Ingalls was kind of the founder of the Writers Workshop, and to see his legacy in so many authors coming to town and really getting their worldview of writing is pretty special to our neighborhood.
You got a bazillion beers across the street, but if someone just wants to saddle up and have a good old blue collar beer, what are they drinking here at the Foxhead?
Or they actually have a Foxhead beer now.
Okay.
that was actually named after this establishment. So, you know, you're pretty iconic when you have your own beer.
What's in the makeup of the Foxhead beer? What are we working with?
It's just a nice, simple, light lager, easy to drink, goes down smooth, and you can have quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
And there's something pretty special next door at George's also. They got a really famous steamed cheeseburger. And I tell folks, you get that steamed cheeseburger with some Sturzing's potato chip, which is made down in, I think it's Burlington, Iowa.
Yep.
Mix that down with maybe a Hams or a domestic beer. That's pretty quintessential Iowa City also.
It is. And there's so many places in the world, but this is just a little slice of heaven in the Northside here. The Foxhead and John's kind of anchors the Northside. Would you like to come over and see the store?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Thanks, sir.
Well, Nate, welcome to John's Grocery. I'm the 3rd generation. This is my son, JD, the 4th generation. This is the oldest established business in Iowa City. There's been a grocery store here all 177 years. So welcome to the beer room.
The thing I love the most about this room is it packs a lot of punch. I mean, You come in here and the curation, I know this is a passion of you and your teams, but you come into this place and there's beers here that you've never heard of, but you know as a customer that you guys have took so much care and attention into what is amazing literally across the world.
Yeah.
And you guys have the local craft and all the domestics, but this room in particular is my favorite. So talk a bit about what you guys have here that you really just can't get anywhere else.
At one point, we actually had the best Belgian beer selection outside of Belgium in the world. When you have a passion for something and you want to be able to tell that story, and that's kind of how we have kind of blossomed into what we have now. So I got somebody that you need to meet. This is going to be the beer that our ancestors would have drank right here in the Northside. You want to try some?
Yeah, love to. A little taste of history.
Let's go. Nate, this is my buddy Steve.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Good to see you.
Steve is an author and a local historian and helping us on the project.
So we're in a college town today, right? We know beer and college towns go well together, but back in 1840s, 1850s, what made Iowa City a perfect fit for beer?
Beer was life back then. You know, you really couldn't trust the water because It had microbes in it, and they realized after a while that by boiling the water for the beer, it actually made the beer safe. So everyone was drinking beer at those times. But the reason why it was all on the north side was because we had a really good supply of water and a hearty supply of ice from the Iowa River. And that's why we had 3 breweries right in our neighborhood.
So the cool thing is when you're here on the north side and you're walking around, there's great places to eat and shop and come in here and grab a beer, but right underneath our feet is really one of the all-stars of the history. And Steve, that's really kind of how you got brought into this whole project, right?
Yeah, the caves, the cave tours. I came to town in the 80s, just a farm kid coming to Iowa City like all of many people before. But I walked these streets, went into some of these pubs, we came into John's, had no idea there was beer history or caves under the ground. And so here I am all these years later when I discovered it. I was really excited to tell that story.
And Doug, what went on in these caves?
They were lagering and fermentation cellars. They dug down about 35 feet, and so underneath the Union Brewery right now, there are exactly 2 huge, big beer caves.
Steve, thank you so much. Congratulations on the great work with the book, and of course the movie's coming up here. And I'm lucky because I've had the chance to see these beer caves. So Doug's gonna take me through.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Here, and then grab around here, and then step down. Keep 3 hands.
One step at a time.
The beer caves are located below Lynn and Market Streets, about 30 feet below the Brewery Square building, which used to be the Union Brewery. They are an astonishing part of Iowa City history, especially knowing they would have been dug by hand. I've been lucky enough to sneak down there before, but I learn something new every time.
This is it. This is pretty darn impressive.
So this is the lagering cellar. The beer would have to stay in here for about 3 weeks, and it would be filled up at the very front of the cave. And then every day as they got more and more barrels, they'd just keep moving the barrels back and back and back. What would have fit down here would have been a hundred 32-gallon barrels. For a little while, the Graff Brothers brewery actually tried making soda down here, but the problem was it actually would keep fermenting. So they actually it developed seltzers before anybody else did. They just didn't know it. So pretty much from 1916 on, these caves have been dormant, and it wasn't until the late 1980s when a couple of the boys of the Bywater family kind of discovered this.
They didn't know what they were coming into. The cool thing now is you've got this below us, but you've got this amazing new restaurant, one of Sam and Ryan's new restaurants, the Paper Crane, which has this amazing cocktail lounge in the back. So it's again, it's the new and it's the old right here, right on Brewery Square.
Just about 10 miles south of Iowa City, right along Highway 1 towards Kelowna, we venture to Lucky Star Farm. This farm started in 2011 with a small fishing pond, but has grown to incorporate chickens, turkeys, goats, milk production, and a unique bed and breakfast experience. But today we're coming to talk to owners Rich and Susan Young specifically about a unique product they provide for one of Iowa City's all-star dishes.
So this first hut is our new ducks. These were patched in January, so they're about 10 or 11 weeks old.
Who's the leader of the pack in there, Rich? Rich, tell me a bit about how you guys got into duck eggs out here at Lucky Star Farm.
Well, it was kind of an interesting story. We had a few runner ducks that we just had for fun, and they would lay a few eggs. And I think Sam Gellin from the Webster found out about that and called Susan up one day and said, "Hey, would you guys be able to sell me some duck eggs?" And we said, "Well, we don't have very many right now, but we'll buy some ducks and we'll raise some eggs for you." And he said, "Well, I'd probably buy about 10 dozen a week." And that's kind of how we got our start. Duck eggs are a little bit of a premium product. They're popular with Asian culture, and they're popular with bakers as well because they have a little bit richer flavor and a little bit more structure for baking.
Sure. Well, let's bring in Sam from the Webster. He's the expert.
Yeah. Yep. Sam's here to pick up his order today.
How important is it to you to build these sort of relationships?
I mean, it's key, you know. Where else are we going to get local duck eggs year round, you know, here in Iowa? So we try to establish relationships with as many farms locally as we can, for be it vegetables or protein or whatever it is, and try to support that, and also obviously get a great product out of it, something super fresh. I mean, you can't get fresher than this.
Well, Nate, do you have any extra time here this morning to take a look around the farm with us?
Yeah, love to see it all. I see all the little baby goats and everything running around, so let's go check them out.
Great. We're very much into agritourism. Small farms like ours really have to diversify to maintain a lot of different income streams. And we just love having people come to be able to stay with us and visit and spend time on the farm.
Yeah, right here is one of your Airbnbs. There's a cool trailer right around the corner over there.
Yeah. The milk house here has been in operation for about 5 years. Betty, our camper, she's been in operation since last fall. Look out, jackpot. One of the really important things that we wanted to have as a feature is to maintain as much of the original feel of the milk house. So we've got
You guys done an amazing job.
the original floor
drains,
drains, the stanchions where the cows would be tied up when they were milked, the original beams. We repurposed tin from our barn and tried to reuse as much of the material from the farm here as we could in the construction and the design. So this is Betty, our restored.
I can get comfy in here. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, yep, it's a great place to hang out, get a good view of the farm here. Betty is a 1968 Comet. She was restored by a man in Cedar Rapids, and so she's another local product. Well, Nate, we've got one other activity here at Lucky Star Farm that we think you're going to enjoy. Are you interested in going to check that out?
I'm up for whatever. Let's go check it out.
This is yoga with goats.
Okay.
These are our baby goats that are born in the spring each year.
So whose idea was this, you or Susan? Where'd this come from?
It's pretty funny because our daughters about 6 years ago came to Susan and said, Mom, you got to try this thing that's on Instagram. It's called goat yoga. And so Susan said, no, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. And she said, just try it one time. So we did. And we set up the tent, we had a class, sold out in like 30 minutes. Okay. And so we ended up doing 3 or 4 more classes that year, and we've been doing it every year ever since then.
Well, we've learned some of the history of the Northside, and we've also had a chance to go out to Lucky Star Farms and grab some of their famous duck eggs. Now it's time to put this all together for a meal at the Webster. This place opened in the heart of the Northside in 2021 and has already been recognized as a top 50 restaurant in the United States by the New York Times and one of USA Today's Restaurants of the Year. After years of training and working in New York City, Sam Gelman and his wife Ryan moved home to Iowa City to open this destination dining experience. I'm excited to put those duck eggs to work.
My name is Sam Gelman. I am the chef and owner of the Webster restaurant in Iowa City, Iowa, here on the north side. I got started cooking in high school. I always loved food and eating, and I would watch great chefs on the Discovery Channel back in standard definition, and I was just always inspired. I thought it was really neat to see all the stuff that I hadn't been exposed to living here in Iowa City. Kind of developed an interest and turned into a passion for food. Cooking with the seasons is the biggest part of it, and being able to change our menus daily, or even I think having all the techniques and all the kind of backup ingredients to be able to be nimble like that and to change rapidly with the seasons. Because when things get going here, it's hard and fast. We don't proclaim to be a local restaurant, but we try to use as much local product when and where we can. This spot that we're on now, this property has a lot of history for me. When I was a kid growing up here, it used to be Pearson's drugstore.
which is where I would come to eat lunch with my father and my grandfather. So we'd meet there at the counter in the back of the drugstore for lunch. You know, we were lucky enough to be able to get the spot and to be able to get it in its raw form. And so we could build the restaurant that we wanted to build in it instead of taking something else or having to remodel somebody else's restaurant. All right, so you ever made pasta before?
I am a first timer. I've had this dish literally every time we come in.
We're gonna do a pretty simple dish today that's really ingredient driven. The thing we'll kind of touch on first is the duck eggs. I mean, when I came back to Iowa City, I was hunting for duck eggs.
Okay.
Really what it does is the proteins are different in it, and I find it to be much richer for the dough. And this is a dough that we're gonna make with egg whites and egg yolks, primarily egg yolks. And then the only other ingredient in it is flour. It's been on the menu since we opened. We haven't taken it off. There's only a couple dishes that are that way. So why don't you start by whipping up the yolks?
Okay. One of the few things I can do in the kitchen.
Well, there you go.
Beautiful. Get all that good duck egg in there.
Yeah.
So as you're getting that workout in, tell me a bit about the Northside. Why here? I mean, we have this world-class restaurant. You could have taken it to a bigger city or anywhere else. Why this particular neighborhood?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to come back to Iowa City. I mean, that was a big part of it. And for me, it was a time and a place, and there's nowhere I would rather be than on the north side. I mean, I love this neighborhood. I live just across the river. I grew up right here on this block. It just seems like it's its own little neighborhood. You know, it's its own part of Iowa City, and I think that's what people really like about it. So, I mean, we are a neighborhood restaurant. I mean, people do come from all over the state and all over to come and eat here, all over the city. But you know, we want to be a place where people can gather and where people can celebrate, you know, life's moments. All right.
Felt a little better.
Yeah, great. All right, Nate, so that's basically the gist of it. I think we should go downstairs and dunk one of these things in the tank and see how it came out.
Let's do it. Let's
Great.
go.
All right.
So that's a little bit about the Northside, home to one of the oldest and most legendary bars in Iowa, as well as an upscale eatery lauded as Restaurant of the Year by the New York Times and USA Today. An iconic grocery store, beer caves 30 feet below the street, and a farm that has it all. So you see what I mean when I say the Iowa City area is a blend of history and progress, local and international, city and country. Suppers like the one you see here happen every evening in our community. It's a way to celebrate our past and our future. But it is something you really need to experience for yourself as you will gather your own stories. For the Iowa City area is truly a place you'll write home about.